Welcome back. Ken Kingstead again here with you to help you develop your internet leads. Let's face it, we're getting more and more and more of these leads every single day, every week, every month. The bottom line is we invest a fortune, a small fortune, into these leads. Heck, when I was a dealer, we spent upwards of $500,000 a month in buying leads in our advertising. And you know what? There's a better way than just throwing your money up against the wall and hoping and wishing it comes together. The bottom line is this. Now that you've got a CDC established in your dealership, let's maximize it. Remember I said earlier, I mentioned the fact that you can make calls or you can make intelligent calls. The bottom line is this. If we're going to be on the phone, let's maximize. Let's go from good to great. Let's not get good in the way of becoming great in our whole approach to maximizing the internet lead. Now let's face it, these customers, whether you're buying subprime leads or prime leads, it's relative to the dealership I'm talking to right now. But the bottom line is that it seems like more and more dealers are buying more and more of the subprime leads. And bottom line is that these customers are not idiots just because their credit's not good. The bottom line is we want to maximize those opportunities. They're doing their due diligence. And if they are subprime, guess what? They've probably been to 4 or 5 other dealerships and had their hopes raised. And then they've been dissatisfied. The bottom line is they weren't able to buy the vehicle. The bottom line is what I'm trying to share with you all today is how do we build value. I find that when I go into a CDC, I find that the people are a little uncomfortable with actually getting through the call and getting the appointment. Oftentimes, objections will come up. Hey, what am I approved for? What's my interest rate going to be? Hey, you know what, that's too far to drive. I heard bad things about that dealership. You can go on and on, or I'm looking for a very specific vehicle. I'm looking to go on and on and on in terms of what the customer can say to you. The bottom line is this. If you don't have a tried and true process established, what's going to happen is they're going to say maybe, okay, I'll come on down to the dealership, and guess what happened? They won't show. Oftentimes, I've been in the dealerships, just recently actually, I went to a dealership and their show rate was at 25%. 25% show rate. I mean, that stinks. The bottom line is they thought that was a decent job still. Wow, what an opportunity for us to shine. Because in my mind, if it's not 50%, guess what? Show rate, that is, we got lots of room to improve. So the bottom line is this, what should an intelligent, keyword intelligent, incoming or actually e-leads call sound like? Well, like I said, in the previous sections, we talked about pacing and leading. And we know that is simply non-confrontational selling, or a way to build bridges between you and the customer. And the bottom line is this, people will judge you in about 10 seconds whether they like you or not. Now, is that fair to you? Absolutely not. But you're judging them as well. The key is this. Let's do our best to make a great first impression. Can we agree with that? And again, that goes back to our pacing and leading. So again, when they pick up the telephone, get command of their time. And what does that sound like? It sounds like our incoming phone call as well. Hi, is Joe there? Joe, am I getting you at a good time? I'm not going to say bad time. I hear bad time all the time. Don't go with a negative right away. Let's start positive. Hey, am I getting at a good time? Fantastic. Hey, this is Ken giving you a call from over here, ABC. Hey, I was going through my notes and I did receive your auto loan application. I got some great news for you. I did my due diligence before I called you. I found a dealership that can absolutely work for you. Time out. Do you think the customer at this point in time has some hope for gain? The bottom line is that I'm not just going and saying, "Hi, Joe, I got someone that can help you." I'm slowing down a little bit. I'm being respectful. Hey, am I getting at a good time? Wonderful. Hey, this is Ken calling you from over ABC. Hey, I was going through my notes and I came across your name. I know you submitted an application for an auto loan. Good news. I did some due diligence before I called you. As I said, I found a store that can absolutely work for you. Now, the bottom line is this. They're thinking what? Oh, I've heard this before. Haven't they? They've been into 3 or 4 of the dealerships possibly and been turned down. The bottom line is, we got to give them hope for gain. That's why it's so important that we maximize this pacing and leading to build value, not only in yourself, but in the company that's trying to earn their business. And the more flexible we can create that customer and believing us as sincere people, they're going to buy into the process and they're going to show up and they're going to buy a car. The bottom line is this. Do not let you, the person making the phone call, get in the way of them getting the car. That's the bottom line. Let's not be the person that gets in the way. Let's be the flux that makes the flow transition from where they're at their home into the dealership. Does that make sense a little bit? So once we did, so we call it pacing. We want to really put some glue on the customer and establish a nice common ground. Hey, I received your auto loan application. Great news for you. I found a dealership that can absolutely work with you. Not a problem. You qualify for at least one program, probably more than one, but you got to get down to the dealership. Very, very important. Time is of the essence. This is very time sensitive. Again, time out. One of the things I'm trying to create here is enthusiasm and urgency, time sensitivity. We want to get them from where they're at, point A, to point B, your dealership. So we want to create some enthusiasm here. So the bottom line is we say this, hey, by the way, you have a pen handy there? If not, I'll wait. Time out again. That's what we call that the embedded command. We learned about that in the incoming phone call process. Very important. A lot of these techniques kind of just come from the other programs we talked about earlier in the process. If you haven't seen that one, go back and review what Pace and Lead is, as well as incoming phone calls in terms of the pencil handy, I'll wait. The bottom line is this. We want to get the customer permission to go get a pen and paper and to write down some pertinent information for them. This is all for their benefit. So do you have a pen handy there? If not, I'll wait. Stop. Try that once. Do you have a pen handy there? If not, I'll wait. And then just wait. Don't start talking. Wait for the customer to respond back to you. Does that make sense? It's like a close. You know, you're okay right here. And turn the paper around and give them the pen. What do? You wait. The first person that talks, what happens? They lose. So the bottom line is this. Do you have a pen handy there? If not, I'll wait. And they're waiting now. Now, once you do that, we're going to say, great. Now, the good news is this. The dealership's name is ABC Motors. Have you heard of them before? Do you know where they're located? If they say no, guess what you got to do? Give them directions. Give them directions on how to get to the dealership. So where are you coming from? You're over here at ABC Street, right? Great. Then just get on 74, take them down, and mentally drive the customer to the dealership. Very, very important. Now listen, once you get them to understand where the dealership's located at, and they have directions to that dealership, the next point is this. Now you got to bring three things with you. Very important. You want to bring your valid license. You also want to bring your most recent pay stub, as well as a utility bill with something with your name on it. That way we know who you really are. That you are. You are who you are. Again, we know identity theft is probably one of the highest areas of crime these days. So we want to identify that, we know who you are. So once you come to the dealership, you're going to bring it with you. Now, if you can't find all of that stuff, guess what? Don't let that get in the way. Still, just come down to the dealership. I'm going to set you up with a credit specialist. He's one of our top managers. He's going to make sure your experience here is a level 10. A level 10. Again, we know you qualify for at least one of the programs at the dealership, probably more than one. And the program I'm talking about right now, we'll call it the one lump sum program, okay? The one lump sum. If in fact, if all else fails, they qualify to buy a car for one lump sum, don't they? Now, once they get to your dealership and we get their credit and we understand who they really are, they may qualify for 2 or 3 or 4 programs. Now, I wouldn't tell them that. I would just say, hey, you qualify for at least one of our programs, probably more than one. But the key is to get to the dealership. And again, we want to set you up with a credit specialist, someone who's an expert at helping people like yourself get back on your feet again. Very, very important. And again, believability is fundamental here. If you don't sound believable, if you sound like you're just dancing through this call, guess what? They will set the appointment, but they won't show. If you want your show rate to be over 50%, you got to be believable. You got to sound congruent. You got to sound sincere. And remember, get around these issues that they skepticism and say, I don't know about this deal or not. This is how you do it. So again, we go through the steps, we call it, and then we want to sell them on the fact that they're working with a credit specialist. Now listen, this dealership we're working with, they have like 30 or 40 banks that specialize in people who are just like yourself, who are reestablishing yourselves. Again, that is a specialist. So again, that's the difference between most stores and the store we send you to. These people want to help and they work with you. Specifically, 80% of their business come from customers just like yourself. Again, we want to give them hope for gain that what we're telling them is sincere and we're backing it up with some kind of a fact. Like these banks, these programs, they're all here to assist you get to where you need to be. Does that make sense, everybody? Again, it's flowing very nicely here. Then finally, we want to set the appointment. And again, I'm not a big believer in saying, well, when can you come in? I got openings at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. We want to use the funnel technique here. And what that simply means is this. Is this morning good for you or this afternoon better for you? This afternoon? Great. Are you thinking early or are you thinking late afternoon? late, so you're thinking around, and you want to have a little bit of a question mark in your voice, like, let them finish your sentence. Well, I'm thinking around 4 o'clock. Well, let me look at my calendar here, in the specialist calendar. We've got availability at 4:15. Stop. We always want to set the appointment on the 15 and the 45 of the hour. Why? Because we know from just experience that when we set it on the quarter hours, the 15 or 45, your show ratio is phenomenally higher. Don't ask me to go through and explain why. Just trust me when I tell you 15 and 45. Now again, got that pen handy still? Wonderful. Jot that down in your notes so we have this all squared away. Now again, if you are running a little late, that's not a big deal, but please give me the courtesy of the call in case something should happen to change between now and your appointment time. And by the way, when you're all done, please give us a call with some great news. Let me know the car you bought for yourself. Time out. What am I doing here? Again, I'm following my nose down a call guide that's giving the customer tremendous hope, or I'm pre-framing the customer on their future event like they're done. They're going to buy a car from us, period. Actually, give me a call back at the end of the deal. Let me know what car you bought. It's always great for me to understand that. Very, very simple. The bottom line is this. This is not a natural call. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of rehearsing. The bottom line is this. You're in the shoes you're in because they believe in you and they trust you that you can do it. Now make it happen. Your reality can become a result of your efforts day in and day out. So get to it, make it happen, and make it a great day. Until next time, take care.